Daniel Bwala, one of the most controversial appointees of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is yet again throwing another jab at the former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-rufai. This time, Daniel Bwala is insisting and reiterating that if today Nasir El-rufai chooses to run for a senatorial seat in his state, that he will fail woefully. Recall that Nasir El-rufai has been throwing jab at President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and other leaders of the party in recent times. El-rufai insisted that those piloting the affairs of Tinubu government are illiterate, as the country is running in anti-clockwise. Listen to what Daniel Bwala has to say about El-rufai.
There was a recent exchange of words online between you and the former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-rufai. You called him you called him out for over some comments he made about the Tinubu presidency, but your response and counterattacks is seen as though the presidency is jittery over the regrouping of some political forces seemingly opposed to the Tinubu administration and are working to displace President Tinubu in 2027.
No, who is G3? The political opponent have no direction. There is no organized political party in Nigeria other than the APC. I mean, almost all the opposition party, they are trying to find their ways. Like the story of the monkey that I told you. And I don't attack because I see that the disposition of Mr. President is that of reconciliatory. If you have seen for the past 18 months plus that he's been in government, he has never reacted once to anybody. He has never been seen being combative or aggressive against anybody. His approach to politics and government, if you have seen virtually 90 to 97% of people around him today, they've all worked against him in the past, inclusive of me. I was with him, then I left him, then I had to come back. That's his disposition. President does not, he doesn't believe in this fight thing. El-rufai is somebody who, like he told you, he's still in the APC. So you talk to him like a brother. But I know he's grandstanding, and he seems to be a bit having some trouble in finding part. Like if you leave a governing party to which you have influence, you have words, and you think that you can undertake a mission, you have to have a place that is working to be able to do that. I mean, almost every other day on Twitter, he will pick up one person. Yesterday, it was the turn of National Security Advisor, and then the turn of the incumbent governor and the rest. So I talk to him like a senior brother because I believe that he's still useful in APC, and we don't have to be combative. But in terms of whether he can effect any change in the opposition and the rest, I'm aware. He doesn't have the capacity to make the president unsettled. So no opposition, is it combined or in their separate bodies, can make the president unsettled.
Is it true that the APC is the one sponsoring, the conflict in other opposition parties?
No, how? I mean, if you, like the two of you are sitting here, you're carrying out your work. If you get confused because of leadership, how is APC involved in it? Which APC member is in those parties? You see, you have to be sensitive to know when you outlive your usefulness. That is what is happening to PDP. It has outlived its usefulness. It is now a conglomeration and congregation of people who do not have a defined direction.
Mr. Bwala,
right.
That is your opinion, is that not? Because if you say PDP has outlived its usefulness, now let me ask you this. She just rightly said that. Is it true that the APC is sponsoring? If I remember, you've not formally defected from the PDP.
I left PDP a long time ago.
And you have your current minister of the FCT, who is also in PDP and is serving in this. So people are tempted to say, okay, you have these people working in the APC so that you use them as instrument to destabilize.
Wike has never been a member of APC. He has said it over and over. He's a member of PDP. He has also said that he has a stake in PDP. He said that he sponsored a lot of activities in PDP and he cannot let his goodwill in PDP just fly away. So he's fighting for his right. He has a fundamental right to fight for his right. And the president is not particularly saying, everybody leave your party because we're in governance. So, and the president cannot stop working with him because he has a problem in his party. The president operates like Abraham Lincoln. He's gathering a national consensus. And so if you're indicting the president when you should praise him for working with everybody, then it is disingenuous to the president. In terms of the political party, their problem didn't start after the president became president now. It started a long time ago. In fact, let me tell you, the coalition they are talking about, they are not even going to run on the platform of PDP. You understand? That's why I say it has...
How do you know that?
Are we deaf and dumb? That's why we say it has outlived its usefulness. They are coming together, they want to flow, they want to go to a different political party and the rest, but the Nigerian people are not sleeping because the Nigerian people are simply looking at this individual and saying, are you coming as a new phenomenon? Or is it the gathering of people who left power and they feel the hunger? You know, like somebody who is in drug addiction and suddenly you are trying to get him out of drug. You know, the minute he starts this withdrawal, that withdrawal syndrome will make him, you know, uncomfortable and all kinds of things. That's what is happening. The withdrawal syndrome of power. That is what is happening to them. So, but in life generally, you have to open your eyes to see how you reinvent yourself. You have to see how you become relevant. And in politics, there will come a time in your life when you know you need to move on. Maybe it is not God's will for you to get this, or it's not God's will for you to get this. But why they will not succeed is because their gathering is not about Nigerians. It's a gathering of people to come back and grab power. It's not a gathering with Nigerian in view. If it is a gathering with Nigerian people in mind, they are supposed to be praising the president on policies that is affecting the change in Nigeria. And if they think the president is not doing the right thing, they are supposed to provide what? Alternative. Do they care about the alternative? I mean, the misery and pain of Nigeria is their talking point. The misery and pain of Nigeria is their weapon. They weaponize the situation of the Nigerian people for a political gain. But you see, I have consistently refused to respond to political questions. When it is time, we will be ready for them. Now we are focused on what we are doing to deliver on the promise of the president to the Nigerian people. And we're thankful that these things are beginning to show in every facet of our national life. That's our joy at the moment.
Well, political watchers predict that the 2027 presidential election will be a challenging one for President Tinubu, potentially even tougher than the 2023 general election. Does President Tinubu still possess that political capital and goodwill to secure majority votes, considering formidable forces like Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, who are still highly relevant? So,
our comfort and stability and relaxation is anchored on those people who will vote. You know, it is not media that will vote, neither is the opposition. Although they will cast their vote, but those who determine who stays in power or who wins power are the Nigerian people. What they are concerned about are the deliverables, the food on the table, right? Education, infrastructure, the future of Nigeria, the future of their children. Whenever they go to bed, whenever they have their dinner before going to bed, that's their concern. When they put the kids to sleep and they go to bed before they finally, shut down, they reflect on the future of their children. All of these, their concerns, are practically being seen in the reform that the president is doing, so that you will not have to worry about the future of your child. If your child is given to education, there will be access. He doesn't have to be the child of a rich. He doesn't have to be that child. Take, for example, this is me sitting, I'm a special advisor to the president. Tell me which regime that would have provided me, a minority from the north, that opportunity.
Well, how soon would this translate to the common man on the street?
It has already
because a lot of people are in hunger. A lot of people are yet to feel the impact of these reforms. How long do they have to wait before they begin to see, the benefits of this reform?
Yeah, that's the rhetoric of the opposition. How long will it take? How long will it take? They are so blinded that it has started that they don't know. It's like a rapture.
Not all Nigerians are the opposition. There are Nigerians with genuine concerns.
I get your point. I'm saying you have echoed the sentiment of Nigerians, not you. But I'm saying that those who weaponize that catchphrase are the opposition. Do you know why I said that? So the NEL fund, is it affecting members of APC? Do you know how many hundreds of thousands of students that have been affected? How do you look at that and say, when is it going to matter? It has already started materializing. Look at agriculture, for example, and look at the revolutionary changes in different parts of Nigeria. When you go to the farm and you plant a seed, do you harvest it the next morning? You don't harvest it the next morning. But I can guarantee you one thing. When you come back the next day, you will see that there is a progressive growth. You come back 1 week later, you see there's a you cannot say that this progressive growth before it comes to maturation, where you harvest, that are not relevant. They are most relevant in determining the progress of agricultural farming.
No, 2027 is just around the corner. Now, you said it is the people that matters, not the various voices.
Not the noisemakers.
Yeah, you call them noisemakers.
Yes.
El-rufai is in the APC. In the 2023 election, you know the role he played in ensuring that power returned to the South. Now, if such a man is raising concern, do you just wish him aside?
No,
he should give you concern because he's not in the opposition, he's in your party.
Yes.
So what I'm asking is, ahead of 2027, are there other steps you're planning to take so that your party will come out stronger in that election?
Our party is strong. So you isolate El-rufai. There's this thing they could say perspective. Look at context, right? There has to be a context in every situation. The question you referred to when you started said, I asked him, I said, my elder brother, would you have expressed this same opinion if you were in the cabinet? You know he will not. Because it happened before Jonathan, when he was running against Jonathan, in the sense of we were coming together as opposition. Everything Jonathan did, he criticized. When Buhari came to power, everything Buhari did was perfect. Some of these things that he's criticizing, it was okay because he was in government.
So are you speaking that way because you are in the cabinet?
No.
Or you are in the
10 months before I was appointed, from January 10th of last year, when I met the president, and I made a decision to support him, for 10 months vigorously, I have been advocating for the president. I wasn't looking at appointment. Appointment is an official tag. But this thing I'm doing, I was doing it in an official capacity. But let me tell you something about my elder brother El-rufai, and talking about whether we should be worried. You see, there's a dynamic around El-rufai. El-rufai needed a solid revolutionary person to thrive. On his own, El-rufai may not win Senate. You know he won governorship.
Really?
Yes, he won governorship because of the Buhari factor. And he got re-elected because of the Buhari factor. If you leave him now to go and run for Senate in Kaduna, he will not win. Then, secondly, you have to understand life. So when you overestimate yourself, you will overshoot. That's the problem about life. You tend to think, when you talk about he participated and then we give him the credit, you were part of the people that brought the government to power. It's not an isolated event. There are plenty of people. He was an incumbent governor. Among other governors, they came together.
And he was a key voice.
No, so, okay, just because I come to the TV, I speak for the president, does not mean I'm more key than the president. I'm a spokesman to the president. I'm a servant to the president. But he has said, go and speak on my policy. So we don't be carried away into thinking because somebody is speaking for a group, therefore he is the most relevant. You also have to look at his political interests, because politics is about interest. If he stands to benefit something far better, and that's the reason why he's more vocal than others, you cannot assume that he's more passionate. At my level, in the primaries, I played my role as well. Because we were all over, even when I was blacklisted by TV, I ran to TikTok. That's one good thing about democratization of media. As we did now, if you say, you know, go bring me again, as I leave this place, the crowd will move to wherever I'm present. I'm on Twitter, on Facebook. That's democratization. The TV that blacklisted me were supporting Oshibanjo. We continue supporting Asiwaju because we believe the only person at the time that could challenge Atiku was Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So do I now say I'm the only person? Everybody came together and played their beat. When you overestimate yourself, you tend to think you are the magic wand that created that situation. El-rufai still has the opportunity to come back home because we believe he's useful. But if just because we are saying come back home and come back to your house, you tend to think as if it is an expression of jittery. El-rufai is inconsequential as far as the future of our party and our politics is concerned.
Well, I would like to